You actually got a photo of me
Wondering what
smiling.
to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my cell phone, dreaming of a better home, while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the Bluez let this last.
That was a great song of Wata with Outside on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM New Haven. My name is Prestige with my partner in crime, Long Island Raids, Elm City made EZ Bluez is in the building. And our guest, we made a good promise to him because we are men of our word. Visual Jason is back on the show after a 2-month hiatus. Jason, I just wanted to know, what have you been doing since we last saw you? I believe it was back in December. It was our last single show in December. Then we started going for 2 days a week, easy. So
No, I remember.
How you been? How did you start off 2021? What projects have you been working on? And just let us know. Go right ahead, boss.
I've been good, man. I've been good.
Yeah.
The first thing I gotta say, the best secrets of photography that I found this year is go get a massage. Take care of yourself first. Feel good. Gets those creative juices going, man. I don't know. That's the big thing I got this year. Slowing down, actually.
That's good.
When I first started, it was like bang, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. No time for the other side of the project, the creative side, the thinking, writing your ideas down, getting a journal, and be like, okay, I'm start scripting the thing like they do in big Hollywood movies. That's been my big thing so far.
Hollywood movies. That is very interesting. Now, will we see you doing this for full time in 2021? Is that going to be a reality by the end of this year?
Yeah, that is the big plan. You know, this year is tough. A lot of people are losing money. They're trying to save money, so creative fields are going down. But I'm still going to make it work this year. The idea is to open up my own photography studio. I think I might have mentioned that last year, but I'm already putting in the work to get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just want to know just the steps you've been taking so far since we last saw you. One thing I really wanted to know about was the blacklist. We just touched on that just a little bit from our last interview. Please tell me about this blacklist, and also, can you tell does the general public can get access to it, and also, can you get out of this blacklist list? Can you redeem yourself?
I mean, I'll start with the getting out part.
Okay.
That's the difficult thing. It's like anything else in life. When you make a mistake, can you make up for it? I mean, how bad was the mistake? I mean, if a photographer's out here doing really bad things to their models and it's well known, I mean, that photographer, they can move somewhere else and still work, but like everyone still knows them as that person. It's going to stay on them. As far as getting access to it, the public doesn't really have it. It's kind of like in the community itself. Photographers know about it. There's a person who told me about it, really talented girl named Sam Cahill. Sorry if I'm butchering her last name. I'm not sure. But she told me about it years ago when I first got started, like 4 years ago. She was like, hey, this list over here, I know you shoot kind of risque photography. You don't want to be on it. So be careful how you behave when you're on a shoot. I mean, some guys, I've heard stories. There's like horror stories. Right? I've been on like social media, photographer be like, yo, this guy, he did this, this, and that to these groups of women. Stay clear. Everybody stay clear. With Twitter, Facebook, that knowledge is going to get passed on to everybody.
Absolutely.
Well, it's really interesting because, you know, as the Me Too movement has really started to flourish and really push back where it should push back, let's 100% state there should be that pushback, you know, and now you have these people who are offenders state, oh, this is cancel culture. And I'm just going to say it right here on the radio. People can quote me. There's a difference between cancel culture and consequential culture. You did this behavior, there are consequences for it, period. I mean, it's a law of physics. Newton stated it. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And for so many times, we have bred up this participation trophy culture, you know, that has stated that we can do no wrong. I've said it 1.5 million times. A simple, hey, I'm human. I made a mistake and I'm sorry goes a long, long way. And I feel like these are conversations that need to happen so people can come closer together. Go ahead, brother.
Nah, go right ahead, Easy. I'm loving this.
Oh no, you know me, man. I get on my pulpit, bro. We go all day.
No, I love it. You're my best friend, but one thing I love about you, Easy, is like you're just prof and you just don't even know. Someone just randomly comes out, and you just have to say it. But
big mouth.
Jason, in fact, Jason, I know you for years. Can I just call you Turbo? I've been calling you Turbo ever since like 2010. Did he freeze?
I think he might have froze, but now I want to
goodness.
know. I want to know if you call him Turbo from the movie with the snail.
Actually, no. That used to be his rap name. He was an independent rapper before he became a photographer.
Nice.
He was going way back to New Haven, Hartford. He was going to Milford, Bridgeport, pretty much all around the state. Just to get
okay. All right.
And then, photography was a calling to him. So when we get him back online, I'll love to talk more about this. And he's off. So it's just like,
that's all right. Well, you want to know something? I'm going to you've known him since 2010, so I'm going to interview you about him. Okay? So when was the first time you guys met?
Oh my God, that sounds so bad. I actually met Turbo all the way back in 2000. I believe it was 9, or 10. I got introduced to Turbo. And it was crazy because it was a party. And I believe he can correct me if I'm wrong. Turbo, I'm glad we got you back on the show. I know everything's a little crazy with Wi-Fi. I had a little crazy with Wi-Fi last night because of the snow. But I wanted to ask you if I can call you Turbo throughout this whole interview so I can be a little more comfortable. Because I've been calling you Turbo ever since 2010 or 9, I believe. So it's crazy. Yeah. But, I will introduce the name to you since really back online as Visual Jason. I really respect your craft. But I was telling Easy just like how we met. I think it was a party. Remember the party like 10 years ago? Let's take the time machine back. We made these bacon cinnamon buns. It was these bacon cinnamon buns we made. We took cinnamon buns, we made it from scratch, and we heated up the bacon and put it in there, and we just let it rock for I think it was good hour, I believe. We made these bacon cinnamon buns, we bonded, and then we had this great friendship that's been lasting over a decade. I mean, there was just so many memories that we have that I could stay on air. But
there's a lot there. There's a lot there we can't talk about.
But that was one of my best memories with you was those bacon cinnamon buns. It was quite delicious.
Oh man, my guy Preston, I remember seeing you. You were loving those bacon cinnamon buns. I think you ate like 6 of them.
First of all, for all those listening at home, if
Absolutely.
you do not understand Prestige's love for bacon, it is
pretty
real
much
and
food
it
in
is
general.
deep. Well, yeah, but bacon is something special about bacon in your heart, man. It's just there's just something there. It could be like, I hate asparagus, and be like, well, I put bacon on it. You're like, I love asparagus.
I feel like if Preston could marry bacon, like if he could propose and get a ring for bacon, he would get bacon the biggest rock ever.
Biggest,
and that's it.
Yep.
The craziest part is I actually broke up with bacon. I haven't had bacon probably in about 6 months. I've been really getting better at my health. So I've been really proud about that.
That's awesome.
But let's just get back to your career, Jason. One things I looked about when I was researching just about your craft is the do's and the don'ts. And one thing about the don'ts is just when you interact with the model, try to direct more. Now, is that true? Just directing the model and telling you because they really can't read your mind? Because a lot of photographers think, oh, since I've been doing this for a long time, the ego builds up and then they can automatically, just comprehend of how they respond to them. Is that true?
No. Of course. Direction is key.
Yeah.
Without direction, the model is going to feel more insecure. Even if it's the most secure model, who's been doing it for a long time, she still wants you to guide her. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of the photographer's vision. She has no idea what that's going to look like. So you kind of just got to craft it.
Oh, absolutely. Because one thing I found out that the model really is nervous when you get in. And we were talking about that in the last interview. It's very hard when you start out just to create that nice, calming, and cool environment. And you were giving me some network tips, actually tips that you just do in general. Just play some good. Go right ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you, I just had a model calling me right now. I got my phone on do not disturb, but they're still coming through somehow.
That's all good.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. But sorry, I had to interrupt you because I was missing what you were saying.
Nah. We were just talking about some of the tips, how it starts out, that we talked about in the last interview. I just want to bring it right back into direction to now. Was just getting that nice environment for that model or that client you're trying to.
That's why I slowed down. That's why I decided to slow down this year. I've been using like Word.
Yeah.
Like literally just writing out the shoot before I get there. Like I might take references off of like movies. You could just take the screenshot with your phone, whatever.
Right.
Then you have that visual idea. That means like you want the lighting like this. Let's say I want lighting coming through the window, and I want to hit the side of her. You have that idea. So when you get to the shoot, you're prepared.
Right.
The first thing to do is to get there, and you're not like you have no idea what you're doing. Then you're running around like, what do I do? What do I do? I get anxious. The model gets anxious. The pictures come. So just having that time to like just do that.
And you were telling. Go right ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
I think if more photographers took that time, their artwork would be better. And with any creative field, like you talk about like me wanting to progress this year to doing this full time, that's the thought process I had to put into it. I had to learn. I want to learn. I want to keep learning because your art speaks for you. To get paid more, you have to have good art. It's as simple as that. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say, you were telling me, but we didn't really get into it that much, about how you really don't get enough money from models. How you tell me how models want you to pay them when it comes to the shoots. Now, just break down and just also reinstate again of how the best ways to get income when you're starting out in this field.
The best way is to work with people that have a need, like they need a brand. People have to have a brand are the ones that are gonna, like, let's say you got a sneaker brand. They're going to want those sneaker pics. I mean, but a model, I mean, it's so easy for a model to get photos. Like even their iPhone can take dope photos now. Like, so why would they pay you to shoot them? Next Monday, I have an upcoming shoot with a guy who is like a fashion designer.
Right.
He's making money from his clothes. So he wants to reinvest into his clothes. Finding those types of people, they're the ones that are going to pay you.
Right.
Model doesn't make money off of Instagram. Like, let's be real. Like, she's not making money there, so she wants to make it somewhere. So she's going to charge the time and be like, you want to take pictures of me? Give me $100.
Right.
I'm not about that.
Well, no, because it's really interesting because there are those parallels with music as well, because you have those opportunities to say as a hip hop artist or even like as a rock artist, you want to do like a collab with somebody, you really have to weigh what the value of that's going to be. Because, if I do a collab with, my neighbor next door who is the best hip hop artist on my block that has 4 houses on it, then, there should be no money invested. But if, say, you're pulling in a name like, like Young Dirty, or someone with a little bit more clout that the minute this is going to release, just having that name on there is going to increase your spins and increase your visibility. You have to make your investments correctly. And that's what I love about your new method, your slow down method, because I found, especially with art that is tied to emotion, you don't have an incredible intimate session with your partner listening to Slipknot. You're gonna want to be in that old school slow jam. You know what I'm saying? You're putting on some Jodeci. Oh, you could, but it isn't going to be intimate and romantic. It's going to be hard. Right, things are going to get broken. Different. And hey, sometimes you need that too. Don't get me wrong.
You're gonna be buying a new TV at the end because somehow the TV.
Exactly. Yeah. And that TV was in the other room. I don't even know how that happened. But it's really, it comes down to like for example, I love jazz, and some of the old school jazz players that knew to sit in that pocket and just to wait for that perfect moment to drop that incredibleness. And then you're fiending for it. And it could be 1 or 2 notes, but you're like, Beethoven, exactly.
what was so powerful about, I can't think of the name of it, that Beethoven song, everybody knows it.
Beethoven's Fifth.
Was it Beethoven or either way, there was space. There was that gap of silence that allowed for the big sound to come in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Beethoven's Fifth. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
That's the one.
Yep. I know things. Preston's like, okay, can we talk about photography now? Gosh darn it.
No, I was actually looking it up. You're right. It is the fifth.
Go me.
Looking it up.
It's all relative, though. It's all relative to photography, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Everything inspires the photos, from like a sound to like the movie to whatever. You go out on a shoot, you see the trees, and you're just like, I don't know what it is about these trees, but I'm just vibing with them. They're so dope.
Right.
I mean, that's the cool thing. That's why I love photography. Like, you never know what's going to change your mind. Like,
Exactly.
you might see like a shadow on a wall, and like, I'll mess with that shadow. Before photography, I never thought I would think like that. I'll see a shadow on the wall. I'm like, there's a shadow on a wall. I don't know.
Before I ask this next question on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, behind the brand, myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made Easy Blues. Turbo, what was the hardest place you had to shoot, but found out it was the most fun place that you had to shoot at?
New York City.
Okay.
New York City is crazy. There's so much going on. There's so many people. There's so many obstacles there, but there's so many beautiful sights.
Mm-hmm.
You got this place in New York called the Oculus, right?
Right.
It's the mall. It's down in like the Brooklyn area, I believe. And every Instagrammer goes there and they get a shot. But when I went there, the weather sucked. There was 1,000 people. And I was like, how do you get this shot? There's so many people in the shot. You don't want them there. If it was up to me, I'd just be like, everybody stop. Can you please stop walking? But that's what I love about those places, because it's so hard. And it makes you have to like stretch your mind. Like, how am I going to figure this out?
Word.
Well, it should be easier now, just with these uncertain times, I believe.
Oh, I'm going back there now. You know, New Yorkers are moving away. They're like, why do I got to live in the city when I'm working online? Can't even go to the restaurant.
Right.
I'm definitely going there.
What is your favorite type of lens to use, Turbo?
Why do you got to give me the hardest question in the world?
I have to. This is what I got to do.
Because that's what Prestige does. That's because he's good at his craft.
I try.
If it was up to me, I would have every lens in the world.
It's true.
I want a shelf, and on the shelf, I want all of the lenses. It's a collection. It's like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. My
You want that ultimate collection. I get it. I totally get it. But
my favorite is probably, has to be a prime lens.
Okay.
Primes are just one focal length, where zooms, you got the whole, because I was going to go to my zoom. I got an 18-105, and I love this baby. It's the first expensive lens I bought.
Right.
Like mad bread. But my 30 1.2 is crispy. There's nothing like it. It's sharp. You get the crazy bokeh in the background. Everything's blurred out. You can't see anything. And it just makes the model pop.
That's awesome.
Oh,
now,
and it doesn't miss. The autofocus on these cameras, crazy. Nice. I went back, looked at my old photos, because I had this cheap $200 T3i back in the day. And I bought the $50 50 mil 1.4 called I can't think of the name of the company, but it's this cheap lens. You can buy it on Amazon for like $50. My friend picked it up back in the day. He was like, "What is this?" I feel like I could break it. Like, that thing would miss focus every time. I went back, I looked at pictures. I was like, "Wow, her face is really not in focus." But yeah.
What are your thoughts on smartphone applications when it comes to photography? Do you feel it's necessary, or do you feel people should go with the cameras still?
Nah, I might sell all my cameras and just use my phone.
video, it takes a little bit more from that. Like, you can't just go out there and make a full video just like that. Photography with phones, the iPhone 12, hands down, can beat.
Easy. Do you have a low volume?
I felt like I was just playing Legend of Zelda. I felt like I was playing Legend of Zelda, and the guy just started talking to me, and it was just.
There was a little
I
glitch.
think, yeah.
Turbo, can you just
weird.
say that answer one more time again? We just want to test your sound.
Oh yeah, it came back. I don't know what
There you
happened there, but
Listen, man, it's technology. We got to roll with it. We have to adjust. I
I'm
understand.
just saying iPhone 12 is a beast. Like
Mhm.
hands down, like you could sell your $5,000 camera, the iPhone 12 just does it. Unfortunately, that's where we're at with technology.
But do
Not
you
a-
feel it might
unfortunately.
ruin the experience, though? Let's just say you're at a photo shoot and you just pull your phone out and like you're with like 2 or like 3 models, and it might get that little, that uninteresting feel you don't want. I'm just saying.
I was at the photo plug in New York City with all my
Right.
people, big meetup, and there was this one guy who had a phone
Uh-huh.
walking around like a photography meetup, but he's walking around with his iPhone.
Yeah.
I look at him, I'm like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't create the vibe, the atmosphere, like the feeling a person gets when they see like a dope camera.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen
It's all about the experience.
I'm at Walmart.
Yeah.
There's a guy walking with a Canon, and it's like a film camera. I'm looking at it.
Right.
I'm like, that's such a dope camera.
Right. But you want to know something though? Like I also look at it kind of like it's the artist as well, because if you have someone like Aretha Franklin, she's going to sound incredible through a Telefunken microphone, but she's also going to sound incredible through that $15 microphone you got in Radio Shack at 1982, because she's just an incredible artist. You know what I mean? And I think you're starting to see, although there are people who now have this amazing technology in their hands, you can see who's an actual artist photographer and who is just getting out of their mama's basement, not knocking you, go get on your hustle.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do,
You gotta
but
start somewhere.
right, you got to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
But you can really start to see the quality, and when you have, you put this device in an amateur's hand to putting this device in a professional's hand, it's so much different.
Realistically, you could take an iPhone 12 and go to a wedding, shoot the whole thing, photos come out fire.
Right.
But if someone's paying you to do a wedding and they see you with an iPhone 12, they could be like, my uncle could do that. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
You still need to have the gear, mainly for a status thing.
Yep.
You're not going to show up to a movie set and be like, okay, I got the iPhone 12. No.
No, definitely. I think we lost we lost the sound again, but he's not incorrect in talking about that. You are you're not going to go to a movie set with an iPhone 12 and see a bunch of iPhone 12s. You're going to see the big cameras. You're going to see the boom thing. You might see an iPhone 12 on a drone, because the drone is going to be cheaper than the boom cameras.
True,
but
true.
But you're not going to see. You're still going to see, and I love the fact too, where you can still go to a movie set and it looks like they're still doing the reel-to-reel cameras. That's how big some of these things are, when really it's just going onto a flash drive or a memory stick.
Yeah.
So
for my business, I'm looking to invest in one more camera. I got
Okay.
They dropped this camera that's like $1,600, shoots in 8K down sample to 6K. It's clean. Black Magic, that's what it's called.
Whoo.
It's crazy. And the raws, I got to mess with the raw. So when you shoot a film, you get this raw footage. You can adjust the colors. You can do whatever you want, kind of like a raw.
Really?
But it's only $1,600. And then the red cameras, the red cinema cameras, to get one of those, you're spending like over 100K. Easy.
Yeah, easy.
But this thing is $1,600 and matches the quality. They can go hand in hand.
Since we're talking about equipment, Turbo, and I'm very disappointed we didn't discuss this the last time I saw you. Which computer applications are the best to use when it comes to your craft for photo editing?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Whatever you're comfortable with. I'll
Gotcha.
tell him for another day because Lightroom, the Adobe suite can get expensive. It's $56 a month.
Mm-hmm.
There's standalone softwares you can buy, like can't think of the name of it at this moment, but they do the same thing.
Right.
I can edit on my phone the same way I can edit on my computer. Doesn't
Right.
matter what you use, it's just how you know how to use it.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, I personally love Adobe. I've tried other ones, and Adobe is the one that works right for me. My work process.
Right.
Heard you. Have you ever thought about going back to a school to sharpen your skills? Even though you did start in the school of hard knocks, you started all on your own.
I think I'm gonna stay in the streets, man.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna stay in the hood, like learn with the other gangsters, like the photography gangsters. No, there's like online courses. You don't need college nowadays. Like,
Right.
Sam Coder is this dope film guy. He has a course for like $600.
Mm-hmm.
You learn everything you want right there. Because these guys they're the makers, they're the creators. When I went to college, I was like, you're a guy who works in this school. You're not out here actually creating.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, there is that, and I'm not saying it's true, and I'm not picking on educators. I love educators. They're really important. But there is that old, thing when it comes to the arts, those that can do, those that can't teach. So you always kind of, especially like me being a musician, I did have a couple of teachers that were just that miserable failed musician, that was going to, yeah.
Sorry.
No, where they poo-poo you if you have any sort of, dream or aspiration, because they still are mad that they didn't get their contract for opening up for Billy Idol in 1981, but it happens.
You wanted to be a rock star, but you're a teacher. It's okay.
It happens. So be a rock star teacher. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know if you guys ever seen Californication, but Ted, Californication had the dude. He was like
I love that. Yep, I love that. Rizzo had an incredible part on that.
He went to teach at some college. Yeah, you're right. He taught at some college, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was still a rock star book writer. This dude's out here just bagging girls off the town, like being a rock star. I was like, okay, being a book writer could be cool.
Yeah.
I got this buddy. He graduated from the Art Institute in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Same as like he loves music. He's a producer, does all that stuff. So I asked him, I was like, yo, what was the best thing you got out of school? He was like the networking. Hands down networking. Meeting all these different other creatives. But he was like, yo, the producing part, the learning the tech, how to do it, I really could have did that on my own.
Right.
I was like, all right.
Yeah. It's true.
Besides Peter McKinnon and MC Usher, who else has influenced you when it comes to your photography?
I got you. He's a low-key creator. He's not big on the totem pole. Not a lot of people know him. But this guy named Chris Chu. The dude is funny. And he's himself. You can tell in his videos, like he's very himself, like his nerdy, whatever self. And he shoots film. And it gives me like a different perspective on photography, seeing film. I want to buy one myself, but they're very expensive. Buying the film is expensive, hard to get, and processing is expensive. So I'm just waiting.
Out of all of your work, do you feel if you've gone too far when it comes to pushing the envelope?
Nah, I want to go further.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Gotcha. I'm definitely with that.
This guy out of Great Lakes named Illy the Kid. Cool photographer, dope dude. I messaged him on Instagram, not thinking he's gonna message me back because he has like a lot of followers. He does, which is cool. His artwork is edgy. It's straight edge, like a knife to a girl's tongue.
Oh my
God.
Yeah, right. Gives you like feelings like okay, but like he showed me that like seeing his work, you can go further and people will still like it. There's an audience for every type of thing. Quentin Tarantino, edgy.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah.
Will we see a calendar out of this in the foreseeable months? Will there ever be a visual Jason calendar with all your work, like a Sunday, like a January, February, March?
I don't know. I might
Well,
I might do an undies brand.
right.
Like a Monday day of the week undies.
Yeah. Well, see, that's really funny because I really think that question was more Prestige saying that he would love to be every month in that calendar.
No.
He wants to
Prestige,
be. He wants to be your calendar man. I'm saying.
We got to do a
Back-
shoot. I can see
Mhm.
Prestige like on a horse,
Oh yes.
Not happening.
shirtless on a horse, just like with the
Yes.
sunset in the background. We Photoshop like a unicorn's horn on the horse. That's
All
like
right.
January.
That's January right there.
Yeah, that's January right there. Let's do
Well,
it.
I don't. Well, see, we've never talked about it on this show, but we used to talk about it when we were on the other station. I don't know if you know this, but Prestige used to be known as Chocolate Thunder. Back when he was trying to pay his way through school. You know, it happens.
Jeez, man, you were out here like dancing for the ladies. You were Magic Mike out here.
I don't know about that.
No.
That's amazing.
I lost my train of thought. Thank you, Easy.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna be thinking about this all day, so thank you.
It's such a fun game to play.
What models do you want the opportunity to work with in 2021?
Oh no, it's Lex.
Okay.
She is awesome. I'm just gonna say she's bad. She's bad.
Yeah.
She's like tatted up and free spirited. She posted a picture of her in a onesie, right?
Mm-hmm.
The middle of, I think it's Wendy's or BK, but bare all.
Right.
Like this
Whew.
in the Wendy's. I'm just like, you got some ball. Sorry, you got some big energy.
Right.
Good cover. Good cover. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Well played, sir. Well played.
No problem.
Have you ever done work for music videos, Turbo?
Yeah.
In that environment, what's it like?
Fun. I mean, the energy with music artists is always fun. High energy, crazy energy, wanting to turn up the whole time.
Right.
Which also sometimes makes the work a little bit harder. But I want to do more of that.
Harder to concentrate.
The problem is
do you?
local rappers sometimes don't have the funds to fund their video.
Oh, do you? What about not rap? What if I was to give you a band and a concept that could be fun and crazy and have a penguin in it? I'm just saying.
You know, I like penguins, you know. Did you know that penguins mate forever?
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I'm aware.
I was watching this show called Atypical. The dude loves penguins. He would just talk about penguins. That's it. I would be totally down.
I will hit you up after this.
The idea, I'm more interested.
The idea is actually rather funny and weird. And that's what I kind of, that's what we like. We're funny and weird. Just ask Prestige.
You've been doing this for a long time, Turbo. What are the main things you look for in a model for a photo shoot? And just go right ahead.
No fear.
Yeah.
No fear? Gotcha.
Just jump right into the thing. Like, I'm gonna lean off the side of this building. You might die, but it's gonna be a good shot. Might catch you on the way down. No, but just a ability to just try to be something outside of what you normally are. Push the envelope. I mean, that's how you get really cool shots.
Nice.
It probably takes a while just to break them out their shell, huh?
Sometimes, yes. Some people need a little bit of building up to get there. Some people just hop right in from the very moment I meet them. I shot with Meg recently, this girl named Megan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for her at Dave & Buster's. So I'm sitting here at Dave & Buster's. I got some food. She's running a little bit late. But the moment she walked in the door, she was like, "Hey." I was like, "What up?" And we just went right from there. We just hopped right into it.
Right. That's awesome.
From this, how detailed oriented are you ever since you started this?
I got a problem, bro. I'm like OCD. Like I'm checking out everything. I get to the location. I'm like, okay, we're moving this off the wall. We're fixing this. Lights over here. Like, let's do this. I get home. I edit. Some photographers take forever to send their models the photos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people. I mean, not forever, but like I'm going in, I'm editing once, then I go to sleep. Next day, wake up, I look at them. I'm like, all right, I got to tweak some stuff. Then I go to sleep. And that might go on for like 7 days just because I want to get it perfect.
Lighting can probably be an issue, huh? Is lighting your main issue when it comes to photography?
No. I mean, there's good lighting and then there's better lighting for me.
Right.
I don't believe in like bad lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Photographers will not go out midday because the sun is so high in the sky. It's kind of harsh. You get shadows.
Right.
I like that. Maybe instead of like having it directly on her face, I'm going to put her on a fence, get the shadows from the fence bouncing on her face, try to create something artistic with that. I mean,
So you're more up to the challenge.
Hayden Peterson, YouTuber. These guys, they got a whole crew of dudes. North Borders, Southern Era, they all go out in whatever condition it is, and they make these videos. They're really cool and entertaining. And I see them out there just shooting in whatever. They just have fun. And it just made me want to try that myself. Just go out there in whatever condition there is, and just like shoot.
Right.
Have you ever shot in the snow?
I did recently. I just posted a shoot. My roommate knocked on my door. She's like, it's snowing outside. I want to go outside in lingerie. Can you take pictures of me? I'm like, yep. Okay. If you want to sit in the snow with no clothes on, that's cool. You're about to freeze.
Is it now when I mean the snow, I'm talking about like major blizzard. Like how difficult is it for you just to make that shot? It probably, it's probably whatever to a model because like they're used to different conditions, but I'm telling you just for you, just like do a landscape wise.
It can be difficult because you're going to get condensation on your lens.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, your lens is going to fog up and you fear about your camera breaking, getting wet or whatever. But that's the hardest part. Dealing with the cold, I got no problem. I used to snowboard.
Right.
First day of the year, every year, we would go out to the mountain, take our shirts off, and just go down the mountain. And don't know why we did that, but it was a thing.
It was definitely a thing on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Behind the brand, myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made, EZ Bluez is in the building, looking like he's about to do a photo shoot right now with visual Jason, who we have here. Which male models have you worked with? Are they more difficult than the female models, Jason?
I got you on that, but easy. You might have to be February.
Oh, I'm in. Here's the thing. I have no shame. You want me on a unicorn wearing a Speedo and a cape? I'm in. Let's do it. It sounds fun to me. It doesn't matter. Like I literally don't care what people think about me. It's an amazing quality to have. And if it sounds fun to me, I'm going to do it. Prestige has been there a couple nights. Prestige has been there a couple nights. He's like, come off the ceiling, easy. It's not good. And I'm like, no, it's fun. It'll be fun.
You guys got to tell me about this later. Male models,
Speaking of my adventures with EZ Bluez, Turbo, have you ever done anything with live performances? Because there's been numerous nights when EZ was trying to get his name out there. I think it was back about 5 years ago. We were just going to different bars in New Haven on Crown Street. We even went, I believe, all the way down to even Stratford to get his name out there. Did you ever cover any live events, any live shows, any live, audiences when it comes to there? Tell me about that feeling. Was it difficult just like managing through a crowd, just getting those right shots?
Honestly, I really haven't.
Okay.
Not too much. But I can imagine it being difficult. I went to a festival called Rolling Loud in 2018. A lot of guys out there with their cameras, and I'm like thinking in my head, you're brave. There's a mosh pit over here, and you got a camera trying to take the picture. I can barely stand up myself. Your camera's about to like be on the ground and stomped on.
Yep. Yeah.
Not really my thing. I love shows. I love live events, and when I go there, I just want to enjoy the show.
Right.
Please tell
Speaking of,
Go ahead.
COVID-19 needs to quit. This year, it just needs to quit playing around. We need no more COVID-19. It just needs to go away. Make a perfect vaccine or something. I don't know.
Honestly, just where everything's going right now, just with the vaccine and just the news I've been hearing, I think we're in the right direction. It's going to take a long time. There's a lot of people who are not respecting the rules and guidelines, which are really setting us back a little bit. But I really feel in the close to the foreseeable future, we'll get right back to a somewhat normal, probably within the fall or in January. That's just my prediction in general, because we already know how to adjust, how to run events. I mean, it's probably got a little easier for you when you think about it, because like when March happened, everything was everything was standing still in March. But I think as of right now, you adjusted your schedule so you can have those photo shoots with just those limited amount of people. You can have just those little events that you want to do, that you want to plan. So we have gone beyond just the Zoom, which we have now. We can plan events accordingly and safe now. So it's been a little bit easier for you, I believe. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely gotten better, but
That's it.
you just have to make some adjustments,
Of course.
But for those guys out there who do shoot live events, I'm feeling for them. I'm feeling for them because that's their thing. They're out there shooting concerts, and they had to pivot. So what do I do now?
Well, I have to say, and I love the fact that you said 2021, you're slowing everything down. I never realized how much like the entourage can slow down the process until you're forced to do it without the entourage. When you're looking at it and like, okay, like we have to go back in the studio and we got to knock out 3 more songs. This is a hypothetical, right? And I know that we have the 4 band members. That's it. We're going to get in there. We're going to get it out there. And that's, we're there to work and we're going to move forward. Usually a recording session would be, the guitarist would bring some, 1, 2, or 3 or 4 of the girls that he was hanging out with at that time, or we, a couple of other bands would come through and hang out.
When you're trying to go back to music and
exactly. But now it just seems so much more like, okay, we're just here to hang out with ourselves and the music itself. And it really does help the process along a lot better.
you're probably vibing in that zone.
Exactly. Do you feel that having these smaller sets makes it easier for you?
Yeah, most definitely. We have that same thing with photography. More people hanging around, they're gonna ask you questions. They're gonna be like, "Yo, what about this? What about that?" Where really you just want to kind of get in that sweet spot in your mind where you're just like looking at the scene and getting in the zone. You have that connection with the model. You're joking around and stuff, and then they're just like you're just vibing.
Right. That's awesome.
I think Preston was asking me about shooting with male models.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, just myself.
I really haven't done it too many times, but I have done it recently. This fashion designer, I did a photo shoot for him. Dude is sharp from head to toe. If you need a suit, hit up Brandon Dapper Design. I would have to get that name for y'all, but like the dude is fire. And just hit me up for some more content this month. So, but shooting for male is different because men take direction different than women do.
Right.
More headstrong. Like, nah, bro, I'm gonna do this. And like, I'm telling you, man, if I just go over here with the lighting, bro.
So you're telling me that they try to act like they're your boss in a way.
They want to throw this spin on everything. I'm like, bro, I'm the one that's gonna be editing these photos, man. We got to do this.
More ego from the guys.
What?
You get more ego from the guys.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes.
Okay. That's very interesting. I would thought it'd be the other way around.
Well, not necessarily, because you got to remember, societally, we're programmed because we're guys. We're supposed to know everything, and we know how to do it better. And it has been so competitive, from jump. I mean, you come out of the womb, and Pops is already trying to make sure that you're the starting quarterback, for your Pee Wee league. and you're told that you're better, you're the best, and this is the way that it goes. And once everyone is told for years upon years upon years that they're the best, when they actually meet somebody who knows better, it does take a little bit of time to be like, oh, wait, I didn't know. Oh, my bad. So I feel choking out the ego is probably one of the best things you can do when you're an artist. But then again, you also need your ego to make your art better. So it's a razor blade walk, man. It's a razor blade walk.
You get too soft, and then you're not competitive. Like, it's all good, man. I do yoga on the beach. I'm relaxed. I meditate, man. I don't need to make money. Oh, okay, but you got no shoes. What are you talking about? Yeah, you're relaxed, but you got no house. What are you talking about? It's like this, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I look at it like, all right, these guys out here, they're business minded. They got their suit, they're going for it, but they got like no spirit to them.
Right.
Got, like, no soul.
Right.
All right, you made all this money. Then you got these people who are like yoga people, meditative, and they're just like, yeah, I'll live in a cave, but they got no money, so they can't support themselves.
Right.
Finding yourself somewhere in the middle of that in life or with art, that duality, Buddhism, whatever you want to call it, it's a dope vibe.
Hey, I spent my early 20s being a Buddhist, mainly because I couldn't afford anything, so I just didn't want anything. It's just the way that it went.
Dude, I became a minimalist because it turns out I was broke at some point.
Exactly.
I'm a minimalist. I don't got anything.
Exactly. Oh, we really need to hang out and do this over a beer one of these times. I feel like it'd be the most fun we've ever had.
Most definitely. No, we should do. We should see if we can interview, and I'll help with the video footage, and we go down to like something like the Owl Shop in New Haven or whatever. Some dope setting.
That's actually a good idea.
That's a really good idea. I'm in.
Jason, what rates do you charge?
Ooh, all right. So we're talking about the money.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I can't give a concrete answer because it's a sliding scale. Video's obviously going to be more, and pictures are less, obviously. But it depends. If I'm shooting for a company and I know that they're going to make money off of my shoot, I have to charge them more.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what are you going to do? I give you the pictures, but you just posted it everywhere, and now you're making 10,000 or whatever on this photo. There's photographers that are going out and they shot for like some big car company. There's $1 million photo shoots. That's a thing. Rare, but it's still a thing. So I can't give you a number.
Okay.
Change.
No, it can all depend on the client, which I totally understand. It depends on what the client does with your photo, and if you put all that work into it, and they're making more money than you did. But I'm slurring my words, and I don't want to jumble it because it sounds messed up, especially on the radio. But I totally get the point of view. Like when you put so much work into that one photo, because I remember I was talking to you, I believe last week, and you said you spent like a good hours and hours and hours on that one piece. And if someone's making more money than how much time that you put into it, you're going to feel really disappointed and you're going to feel disrespected. That's the last thing you want when it comes to your craft. You don't want that to happen. And especially you don't want that to happen to other photographers who are just as passionate as you. So I totally get your point of view when it comes to that. And you got to know your value when it comes to this thing. I remember one time you told me that person went up to you, was like, okay, I'll charge you $250 an hour. And you just stopped and paused in your head. You're like, all right, let's do it. And you just ran with it. But then you knew the quality of your craft. You know what I'm saying? So as you go through this, like you said, take your time, you get better than what you do and you feel good about it. So you definitely know your charge and you know your value as time goes on. So I totally get what you're saying with that. And it makes a lot of sense.
And in your medium, just like a lot of other artistic mediums, people don't understand they're not paying for that hour photo shoot. They're paying for the hours that went into learning the craft, learning how to edit, learning about lighting. You're talking about for that 1 hour, you're paying for hundreds of thousands of hours of experience just to get you sitting in front of this camera. You only judge by that hour, but you don't judge by the amount of preparation that goes into that hour alone. And
the learning. Same as being a producer. You got your gear, you invest the time in getting your gear. the time to learn how to use each piece of your gear. You're still paying for things like the software, even electricity bill. If you open up I don't have one yet, but once I do, go to an LLC, I can charge for all of that, and that's all tax returnable. So you got to put that into how much you're going to charge. A lot of photographers starting out, me, myself included, I had no idea how to charge when I first started. I was like, should I do 25 an hour, 50 an hour, 100? I have no idea. But I would say this for a lot of new people, please don't undercut yourself in your worth. Just because you think it's too much money for them doesn't mean it is. And if they say no, good riddance. Just move on to the next one. If you charge too low and then they tell their friends, by the way, this is the cheap photographer.
Yeah, you're stuck there.
Yeah. And on top of that, they might think you're not professional.
Right. Now, I've been a big fan of this book, 48 Laws of Power, written by Robert Greene. There's always these laws of power, and then there's the law that disproves the law itself. Now, just stating what you stated there, are there those moments where you know that, like, say, this model or this particular project is going to go higher and is going to raise your visibility. So, and that's going to pay you in the end on the back end aspect. Do you take less money?
Look, if Eminem walked up to me right now and said, hey, man, I would shoot Eminem for free. I don't even care. That's not even
right. And when he says free, he means $1 million. I'm just
it's Eminem. Come on, man. Don't make me shoot for free.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if he's listening, he wants $1 million. I got to be your agent for that one. Okay.
Thank you.
Turbo, you only got 1 minute left. Please retell the audience where to find you, just your different links of how to research you, and your social media. The time is yours. Go right ahead.
Cool. Thank you for that. Visual Jason everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Don't really post there too much, but I should probably start. That's where all the kids be. They love that. But yeah, Visual Jason everywhere. Soon to be on YouTube as well.
Nice.
Definitely. Visual Jason, thank you for being part of Behind the Brand. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made EZ Bluez is in the building on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, New Haven.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my songs to the phone, dreaming of a better home, while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the Bluez let this last.
I don't know if the earth is fading.